Hey, I'm Mr. and welcome back to Valentino Rossi the game and the historic events as we're doing the 16th on round the TT circuit, Assen, and it is the return of Valentino Rossi on the 29th of June 2013. 7th race of the championship for Rossi, starting fourth behind Crutchlow, Marquez and Pedrosa after an initial jostle with the latter pair. He takes the lead and dominates for 20 consecutive laps. This victory as well has been the first on his return to Yamaha, marking his return with a place at the top of the podium after a gap of 44 races. So he just got across the finish line in first place. Simple as the Yamaha YZR M1 from 2013. And look at that, we've got some lovely clear conditions around them, so it's modern version of the Assen circuit.
Io ero contentissimo di avere un'altra possibilità, non era così scontato. O sarei riuscito a tornare sulla mia M1 oppure probabilmente avrei smesso di correre. E quindi mi dispiaceva moltissimo finire la mia carriera così, male, no? Con dei risultati deludenti. Quindi quando nel 2012 è cominciata a crescere la possibilità e la speranza di tornare sulla Yamaha, ero contentissimo e non vedevo l'ora di provarla. Ecco. Quando vieni da 2 anni così difficili, così duri, perdi tanto del feeling e comunque degli automatismi che ti servono per vincere le gare. E quindi il 2013 è stato un anno nettamente più positivo, però era stato un anno difficile. Tante volte nei 2 anni prima avevo pensato di non riuscire più a vincere una gara, non riprovare mai quella sensazione di passare il traguardo per primo con la MotoGP. Quindi quando ci sono riuscito a Assen è stato bello, e farlo a Assen, che è una pista speciale per me, è stato ancora più bello. E poi comunque è stata una gara molto battagliata anche con le Honda e con Lorenzo, con Crutchlow, Pedrosa, Marquez. Penso che è stato la volta che è passato più tempo dalla vittoria prima, perché la vittoria prima era stata a Sepang del 2010 e lì eravamo a Assen del 2013, quindi era passata una vita, non mi ricordavo più neanche com'era, ecco.
And here we are around the modern circuit. We've got to remember how to ride this circuit as we're used to older Assen on these historic events, but now got the radio circuit which we played for the last few games as we've got to beat Marquez as Rossi. Get out of here, young pup. The old master is here to return. So really cut him off there. And this is a duel to the finish. Around a lap and a half of this Assen circuit. Now we're coming to the section I really like. The end of the lap. Got some really fast kinks here. We do kind of pull out gap as well behind. We're finding this last sector. Before we go into this infamous chicane. Of course Marquez and Rossi will clash here later. But not this race. This was Rossi's race. This was his race to announce his return at Yamaha into the top MotoGP after those couple of years at Ducati where really could not get to grips with that red machine, which now Lorenzo is attempting to do, of course. Bit funny seeing that now, looking back at how Rossi didn't manage to succeed. I'm sure Lorenzo will do better because Ducati are better now. Ducati really were a mess after Stoner left. Took them a couple of years to really get back. But with the help of like Nicky Hayden and then getting Dovi as well, that was really important. As I'm cruising here on the last lap, I should probably concentrate a bit more. Yeah, that helped build them up, make some managerial changes, get some good staff as well. Being bought by Audi as well might have helped Ducati a bit. Let's see, here goes Marquez down her inside, we're keeping it round the outside. Oh! Like seeing that. But yeah, I know in the last couple of years Ducati have really built themselves into a race winner. Of course, won a couple of rounds last year with Eno and Indovi. But now, it might be time to take the next step to be a championship challenger. See if they can do that with the Renzo in the next couple of years as we cross the line and complete this historic event. For once, we see Marco's a bit disappointed round Assen as well. He's pretty good round there. As yes, that's another one in the bag. Give us our VO points. Let's head to the next one. And the next historic event is round Phillip Island, as we're on the Honda NSR 500 from 2001. On the last bend, on the 14th of October 2001, Rossi can crown himself champion with 3 races in hand. But Biaggi is not giving up the title without a fight, taking pole position. The duel lasts the entire race, but Valentino manages to overtake his opponent on the last bends. He crosses the finish line with 13 thousandths of a second advantage, his first 500cc World Championship. So you've got to cross the finish line in first place. Ahead, the Roman Emperor Max Biaggi, a classic duel between the pair. This is going to be a 22-year-old about to win our first world title with some clear Australian sunshine in the air.
Il 2001 è stata una delle stagioni migliori della mia carriera, secondo me. Siamo arrivati a Phillip Island, che è una delle piste più belle, come ambientazione probabilmente la più bella, perché è l'unica dove si vede il mare. Potevo fare ottavo, credo, per vincere, perché avevo un buon vantaggio, però c'era il problema della lotta con Biaggi, nel senso che la lotta con Biaggi è stata sempre molto acerrima, però lì a Phillip Island l'anno prima lui mi aveva battuto all'ultimo giro e aveva vinto, e quindi avevo deciso che dovevo ricambiargli il favore. Mi ricordo che gli ultimi giri sono stati bellissimi, perché lui era riuscito ad andare un pelo via, aveva preso un secondino, ma io piano piano sono riuscito ad andarlo a prendere e l'ho preso proprio nell'ultima staccata possibile per il sorpasso, quindi avevo deciso di provarci, ed è stato uno dei sorpassi più belli della mia carriera, perché si veniva da questa curva lunga a sinistra che scollina, quindi è cieca, diciamo. L'abbiamo fatta uno attaccato all'altro e in staccata sono riuscito a superarlo. Poi lui mi ha preso la scia e siamo proprio passati sul traguardo uno di fianco all'altro e ho vinto per un pelo, ecco, però è stato quello che serviva, ecco.
So here we are on the 500cc machines, about to replicate what Rossi did during the final couple of corners, take the lead and beat Max Biaggi to the line. I know we've run wide, but now Biaggi's run slightly wide. But can we do it? Keep the power down into his final corner. It's such a short challenge as well. If you make a mistake, you've lost it. And I think we've lost it. No slipstream is giving us back that advantage. So let's restart. So here we are, round Phillip Island. As we've got to replicate what Rossi did on that final lap, overtake Biaggi, which we've done, and then hold on for the win. He gets back past us, but we're looking back to his inside. Just keep on the power, just like Rossi did. They go into the final corner. I think we have held on. It's a shame we don't have more of this battle. Just replicating the final bit. But yes, we do cross the line in first. And there's the familiar feeling for Biaggi, unfortunately, against Rossi. Punching the air in disappointment. So that's another event complete. Yeah, as I said, such a shame we weren't doing more of that event. But we're on to the penultimate one now. Did I say penultimate one? 3 from the end, as we're going to Laguna Seca in the 18th event, and the 20th of July 2008 has in history. The 11th race in the 2008 season turns out to be one of the most exciting and famous duels in the history of motorbike racing. Valentino and Stoner pushed things to the limit from the very beginning, finding themselves at the head of the group. Although seemingly endless series of passes and counter passes, including the famous pass on the corkscrew, Valentino takes the lead and the Australians full ends the race. It's the 4th victory of the season for Rossi and the first of a series of 5 which will lead him to win the title. So we've got to overtake Stoner, I'm guessing, and hold first place until time expires. And this was a classic duel. It was a bit like, you know, Zanardi and Herta from 96 in the kart championship. Well, this is the bike version of it from 2008.
Nel 2008 sono cambiate tante cose e intanto la Yamaha si era impegnata molto e la moto del 2008 andava forte, e poi eravamo finalmente passati anche noi alle Bridgestone e quindi ce la potevamo giocare di più con Stoner, che comunque era l'uomo da battere, era comunque il campione del mondo. Laguna Seca è una pista dove Stoner è sempre andato fortissimo, bisognava fare qualcosa di speciale per riuscirlo a battere, però non sapevo bene cosa. Laguna Seca praticamente c'ha tutta una prima parte che sale e si arriva sul cucuzzolo della montagna, che è il cavatappi, e poi dal cavatappi si ricomincia a scendere. Lì Stoner era veramente forte. Io sapevo che se avesse fatto anche solo un giro davanti mi avrebbe distanziato, ecco. Quindi quando siamo arrivati su al cavatappi e lui ha provato a superarmi, io sapevo di non poterlo farlo passare a tutti i costi, e quindi lui ha staccato già molto, molto più in giù, io ho provato a staccare ancora più giù di lui, quindi siamo arrivati tutti e due troppo forte, però comunque sono riuscito a rimanergli davanti ed è stato molto importante. Era ancora il quinto giro e ne mancavano tipo 25 e già io ero finito, non sapevo come fare da lì alla fine, però fortunatamente ce l'ho fatta e in gara ero comunque abbastanza veloce, e quindi è stata una gara molto importante, perché per Stoner quella sconfitta lì è stata difficile da accettare. Penso che il mondiale del 2008 l'ho vinto lì quel giorno a Laguna Seca, anche se mancavano ancora 7-8 gare.
So here we are around the track that I dearly miss from the MotoGP calendar. It always provided some crazy races, spectacular passes, and of course it's a spectacular circuit. And this race was no exception, even though it ended a bit early. It was crazy seeing Stoner and Rossi battle like this. And here we go, to the corkscrew. We need to make a pass. And there you go, we're doing it again. Stoner gets back by. Now we get back by Stoner. This really is a replication, it's almost losing it. It's this version of Laguna, it's definitely got the bumping inclines, but it's just off slightly, so it just feels a bit weird. Let's come to the final corner. Got over a minute, hold on. But yeah, I do miss Laguna Seca on the calendar. And this was at a time when America had, not this time, but a few years later, they have 3 races on the calendar. It was crazy. The St. Louis had Indianapolis, and of course the Circuit of the Americas in the past few years. And it's even crazier seeing that now Indy's gone, Laguna's gone, only Circuit of the Americas remains, and it looks like it's going to remain for a few years, which is nice to see, as that is a very good circuit as well. All the American circuits are good, even Indy, despite it being very flip-floppy at times. Nowhere near the best version of the road course, but it's still very good at motorcycle racing. We saw that, I was thinking of the last event when it was Marquez and the Yamahas battling, and they also had the Ducatis battling as well in the midfield, but I'm really surprised we actually done this first time. No outtakes from this historic event, as we did overtake our opponent and hold on against Casey Stoner, just like in real life. So give us the VR points. Now let's go to the penultimate event. And the penultimate historic event takes place at Misano, the Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. As with gritted teeth on the 14th of September 2014, we are on the 13th race of the World Championships. Rossi, Marquez and Lorenzo are taking part in one of the most spectacular battles in recent years. After the initial tussle dominated by continuous extreme passes, Lorenzo drops the pace and falls behind. Rossi and Marquez hold on to the lead, and after a few laps the Spanish rider's fall launches Valentino towards a solo victory in front of his home crowd. So you've got to overtake your opponents and hold first place until the time expires, as a 35-year-old Valentino Rossi against the younger guns of Marquez and Lorenzo on the YZR M1 from 2014. Unfortunately, I missed this race, I remember, but it definitely was a good duel to rewatch later.
Il 2014 è stata una stagione molto positiva, dall'inizio sono subito stato più veloce e sono riuscito a lottare più o meno tutte le domeniche per il podio. Però c'era stato lo strapotere di Marquez, lo strapotere della Honda nelle prime gare, e quindi io ero andato forte, avevo fatto tante belle gare ma non ero mai riuscito a fregarlo. Quindi siamo arrivati a Misano, e quale posto migliore per farlo? È stato un gran weekend dalle prove, mi ricordo che partivo in prima fila ma come passo ero quello che ne aveva di più, e così è stato. Bella lotta fin dall'inizio, poi però sono riuscito ad andare davanti. Mentre stavo spingendo forte, mi ricordo dentro il casco di avere sentito un boato, non proprio un boato chiaro, però è successo qualcosa. Eravamo appena passati davanti alla mia tribuna, e c'ero davanti io e dietro c'era Marquez, e quindi ho fatto 1+1. Io sono in piedi, quindi è caduto lui. Sarebbe comunque stato difficile batterlo, però purtroppo ha sbagliato, e quindi dopo me la sono dovuta vedere solo con Lorenzo. Però quel giorno lì ero un po' più veloce io, e quindi non è riuscito più a venirmi a prendere. Ritornare sul gradino più alto in Italia dopo 5 anni è stata una grande soddisfazione, e mi ha dato tanta motivazione, tanta forza di credere di riuscire a lottare per vincere proprio il campionato, ecco. Quindi è stata una vittoria importante.
So here we are at Misano, not one of my best circuits, as we've got 2 minutes getting ahead of Lorenzo and Marquez. This first sector's so tricky, kind of just waiting most of the time. As there is Marquez, get out of here. You've won already like 11 races by this point. You've had enough, Marquez, alright? So if I remember correctly, this was the year when he went unbeaten in the first half of the year. Until I was saying it was Pedrosa who broke that streak at Brno. Let's go wide, but it'll give us a run out the corner, get back past Marquez. Well, Lorenzo just swans off into the distance. Let's catch down the Italian, or the Spaniard. I'm the Italian. Look at that 1.5 second advantage he's got. He's going to be very cautious in these fast sweeping right-handers, but you can see we gained loads of time on Lorenzo. I think we cut that gap to cut it in half. But that's the only time we're going to visit those corners, unfortunately. That should be ahead by now. That's all that's ahead are the corners that I'm not very good at. As you can see, we've got a poor exit out of the final corner. Braked a bit early. Now we've got to dive down the inside if we're going to complete this historic event. Oh, in typical Rossi fashion, I did it, but for me, it did not succeed. So here we are around the circuit I'm not very good at, as we got to beat Lorenzo and Marquez as the old master, and we're on home turf for the first time in half a decade. Unbelievable to think he had that streak, not really in Italy. And already Lorenzo is getting away from us, as we've got Marquez on our tail, on his Honda. Like, you've already won like 11 races by this point. Back off. This is mine to win. And I think this was the season where he went unbeaten the first half of the season. Probably won't see that for a long time with how competitive MotoGP is now. But it's unbelievable to think it only happened 3 years ago. With this boy Wanda. Came in, won as a rookie for the first time since Freddie Spencer in the early 80s. Then backed it up with an even more impressive campaign. One of the best campaigns in recent memory, up there with like Stoner in 2007. Just how good he looked with his bike. As we dive it down the inside of Lorenzo. We run wide. Give it back to the Spaniard. We're on home turf here. We want to get it back as soon as possible. As we dive down the inside of the last corner, not quite. But can we get a good run as we've dropped Marquez now to come to the end of the lap. But we're only doing around half of this next lap. So we've got to make the move in these first few corners. Oh, diving down the inside, but Lorenzo gets us back. He's on our outside. Can we hold on though? Let's hit the apex. I think that's it. No, run wide. There Lorenzo back by, but then we get back by. I was like, we just about held on. God, that was tight. But we have done it. Man, that was very, very close. That's the closest I've ever been on any of these kind of real events or historic events in these milestone games. So, very relieved to do it there. As now, there's only one left. New team, old habits. 18th of April 2004. First race of the championship and Yamaha debut. Rossi starts first with Gibernau and Biaggi behind him. Soon after, the Spanish rider is still in behind and the real duel starts. Yamaha is still unstable and Valentino struggles to maintain his opponent's rhythm. 2 laps from the end, Biaggi seems to have the advantage, but Rossi does not give up and on the final lap manages to overtake him. This, along with another 8 victories, lead him to winning his 6th World Championship and back-to-back titles on a Honda and Yamaha. So we've got to overtake your opponent and hold first place until the race ends. I'm guessing we're against Mad Max Biaggi, as we're 25-year-old Valentino Rossi on a YZR M1 Yamaha. And I remember going into this race that, yeah, we thought Rossi would, perhaps fight for win. I don't think we actually expect him to win on his debut with the Yamahas. That's from what I remember going into the race. I don't actually remember the racetrack or the race though. So it's to be very interesting then. Lots of outtakes from this race, I'm sure, as we've got some nice clear conditions in South Africa and the Phakisa freeway from 2004. Never seen this racetrack in the racing game, so this will be very interesting.
Non mi trovavo molto bene nel team della Honda. Alla fine del 2003 ho deciso di lasciare la Honda e di passare alla Yamaha, che era una scelta da matti, perché la Honda era chiaramente la moto migliore, e invece negli ultimi anni la Yamaha aveva fatto dei risultati abbastanza deludenti, soprattutto con la M1. Welcome 2004 credo che sia la gara migliore della mia carriera, sicuramente la gara più importante. Aveva tutto, cioè se uno avesse scritto la storia non avrebbe cambiato niente, perché per prima cosa me la sono giocata fino all'ultimo giro con Biaggi sulla Honda, che invece fino a lì ero io sulla Honda e lui sulla Yamaha. Sulla carta ero in una situazione di svantaggio tecnico, diciamo. Però la posta in palio era talmente grande che è stato un weekend speciale. Quando guidavo era come se ero dentro una bolla, no? Cioè qualunque cosa facevo veniva e sono stato sempre davanti. Poi domenica mattina nel warm up invece ero andato piuttosto male, avevo fatto tipo il 9° tempo e quindi sono partito per la gara con questo piccolo dubbio che la magia fosse finita proprio sul più bello, ecco. Invece non è stato così e in gara sono andato molto forte. Il giorno prima, non mi ricordo quando, ho detto se vinco mi fermo lì, perché era un posto dove non c'era nessuno e allora era bello avere un momento da solo con la mia moto, no? E quindi così è stato, e l'immagine che bacio la moto è diventata storica, ecco. Arrivare a Welcome e riuscire a vincere la prima, quindi back to back da Yamaha Honda, è stata una cosa veramente, veramente speciale.
So of course this is how it ends, the old foes. Biaggi on the Honda, Rossi on the Yamaha. Oh, I do miss that camel livery that the Honda has. So distinctive, that yellow and blue. It's a bit like Benson Hedges and Jordan in F1. As Biaggi's really pushing me through that corner. No, once you've seen those liveries, you never forget them, so I do miss that livery. Remember particularly Bowles having that livery as well when he was on the Honda. Another favourite rider of mine during this era, as if I remember back in 2004, this was the time when Max Biaggi was meant to add that Premier Class title to his collection, because he had won 4 consecutive 250 titles in the 90s. but never achieved it at the Premier Class level, never would go on to achieve it. As instead of Biaggi, it was Sette Gibernau who would challenge Rossi during these years, and unfortunately for the Spaniard, it ended about as well as it did for the Italian that I'm racing and trying to beat to the line. I think I've done it. I completed this historic event in South Africa, and we win on our debut of the Yamaha just like Rossi did in real life. And that is all the historic events completed. As we get our VR points, let's go back to the menu and marvel at all these historic events. It ended with that debut on the Yamaha in South Africa back in 2004. I barely remember South Africa having MotoGP around. Unfortunately, you know, they've been a bit scarce on international motor racing calendars in recent years, South Africa. I remember, I think it was perhaps Durban on the A1GP calendar was perhaps the most recent I remember. And that Durban circuit was a handful, especially when it like someone like Jos Verstappen at the front in that race. I think it was the first season when he was just crazy. Crazy fast and just crazy. A bit like Jos Verstappen, I guess, in real life, from the stories we've heard. But as you can see, it ended with kind of recent tales for Valentino Rossi. But we really have stretched his whole career from when he was a teenager winning his first races on the 125cc to, as you saw, his debut on the Yamaha, winning titles with Honda, the Yamaha, and then winning races as well in the last couple of years on that Yamaha. But I hope you enjoyed these historic events. I have enjoyed going through them all, learning about them as well. I'm not, you know, the biggest aficionado on motorcycle racing during the years, and I haven't followed Valentino Rossi's career through, you know, the whole of it, only the past 15 years. But it's been fantastic to see and hear from the great man, as well, I guess in quotation marks for some people, but you know, for me, you definitely got to respect the talent. He has had 9 world titles, over 100 victories at Grand Prix level. Maybe Marc Marquez can equal that. That's a very big gap. He isn't even halfway, I don't think. So yeah, he's got a long way to go. But yeah, fantastic to at least see this in the Valentino Rossi, the game, see Milestone get, you know, produce this effort as well. You know, not just producing these events, but also getting Rossi to talk about them. And yeah, very nice addition to the game. It wasn't just Rossi that you got Challenge Introductie. He also gives you challenges as well, and you got Rossipedia. So yeah, that was the historic events. There's also career, well, events 2015, 2016, which had to be had as DLC because there's so much in this game. You also have the Monza Rally. You know, you also have the Yamaha that you can ride, the flat track, the Yamaha R1M, and yeah, so much stuff in this game. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you all of it before MotoGP 17 comes around, but hope you enjoyed what I have shown you of it, career mode and the historic events. But I'll be back soon. Shout out for watching, and I will see you next time. As we are coming up to the final corner, unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to do it this time, but at least we've learned what the circuit is like. Just damn you, Biaggi. Of course it ends with Biaggi v Rossi in that first race on the Yamaha back in 2004. And welcome as, oh, we dive it down the inside and we're down. As this was actually one of the last times as well, Biaggi would be gone at the end of 2005. Hard to see. It didn't last for this long, this rivalry after this. We screwed up this attempt. Of course, returning World Superbikes, won a couple of titles. That's how I can't get that last section right. But instead, it was Sette Gibernau who came out and challenged Rossi. As I screwed that up. It was meant to be Max Biaggi's time to finally had that Premier Class title to his collection. He had one night. Oh my god! And that's how it ended for Max Biaggi against Rossi. So of course it ends with the old foes. Biaggi on the Honda, Rossi on the Yamaha, on the grass, on the takedown.